everyone, Emma here. So today is day 26, so that's this one here. Let's take a look at what we have. Ooh, do you see this one? What? This is crazy, crazy. So let's move this over here and see what we have in this one here. I am going to fix my camera and let's take a look. These are incredible. Oh, let's flip it this way. There we go. So actually these, I have to say, these were inspired by Celine Dion's earrings that she wore at the Met Gala. And they don't really look like what she had, but I saw hers and I did a screenshot and it's quite blurry, so it was hard to see. But then I was like, wait a minute, I got an idea. So I got these. Let me make sure this is all in focus. I got these crystals from BB Craft, and it was like, I don't know if I put them away. Let me see. I thought I had them on my desk. I might be working on another design, so I might have put them. Oh, here they are. Oh, and I even got the sticker. There was 36 of them, and they look kind of cheap when you look at them in a baggie like this, and it was $6 for 36 of them. But once you take them out, so they have a coating on the back that creates that color in the front, and they're kind of like drops. I don't know, there's probably a specific name for this shape of crystal, but oh my god, they're so gorgeous. Now there were some that had like a little, I don't know if it was a chip or just malformed at the top stuff, but for that price, these are amazing. So, oh my gosh. I should see if they have these in any other colors. But so that's what I used for that. I used some leaf pinch bales that I got on AliExpress. This here is part of a, and I think I put it in here, part of a, those are some jump rings. There's a bunch of stuff in here. So these are gold-plated jump rings, 6mm. I used a big one for the top piece. But let's talk about this. I'll dump this all out because I just put everything in the bag. So we had them. So this is where I got this piece up here. I feel like we need more light. There. So this was a class that I got on AliExpress. They are called fancy fold over class, stuff like that. Some people have asked me about it. If you're interested, let me know. I will try and look up the links for these. But they are meant to attach to pearls. So they have this area that you can loop and then do your beading with your pearls on the ends of these. But these open up and look at that. These are gorgeous. So then you can save these for another design. So let's open this. So that's why I did it like this. So and look at the back. It's gorgeous. So you can actually use these together and have your closure like that. But I like to extend the whole, life of these class. Just use one of these and use a thicker jump ring or some type of thing that you can attach here for your closure. You don't have to use two of them together. So we'll save those. So we definitely need these. They're so gorgeous. These are expensive. They're about $3 each. Sometimes you can get them for about $2.50 each. This is, yeah, beautiful. And we got our second crystal. And these ear wires I got from BB Craft. They're gold plated and they come apart. So let me see, this side comes out from this piece here, like that. So you can actually put beads on there, but we're just going to keep this closed and we're going to do some beading around here. So we're just going to do brick stitch. And I'm pretty new to brick stitch, but we'll see what we can manage. So this is the leaf pinch bail, and these are super cheap. They're like $2-3 for like 100 of these, so they're gorgeous. Then the ear wires, I can't remember, AliExpress or BB Craft, I can't remember which for those. So you also need some 3mm crystals. I'm using Bicones, Swarovski Bicones. They are clear with AB on them. So I'll just pull those guys out. I think I put exactly the amount I needed. Hopefully I didn't lose any. And I think there's one more here. So let's move this aside. So that doesn't look like enough. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, I think 21. So there's 5. Yeah, there's definitely not enough. I can't count. That's apparent. Let me see. Oh, thank goodness the containers here. Ta-da! So we have some more. So we'll put those there. So the jump rings are to attach this. So we attached it. So I totally attached it separate from this part here. And that's so that it would sit exactly. So here's the thing. I love doing these brick stitch now. I've only done a couple. But, oh, and look, I have this on backwards. Is it backwards? I do. So really it should sit this way, but you don't see it, so it's not a big deal. So I have it this way. But I like to cover up this section here. Like, these are beautiful. I don't want to see all that. So I just went like this. You could actually, attach it to the thing, but I think it's nicer just kind of floating freely. And yeah, so let's get started. So we need a needle and some thread. What did I use? I think I used green thread. I have some green thread here. So I would take a wingspan for sure of this. And a needle. I know I have needles here somewhere. I have them everywhere. I would, you can use a size 10 needle for sure. This is, let me see if I have one in the container. That's a size 12. I really don't need a size 12. Let's just leave that there in case I can't find my other needles. Let's see what we have here. 11. Where's this one? 11. Size 10, John James. That's that. So we'll move this aside here, and I am going to start by attaching the end of my thread to the wire form. And I'm going to leave a longer tail because then I'm going to weave the tail in. Let me see. You don't have to actually. Now take a look at this. And you know what I'm missing? I'm missing 50 O's. Yeah, so you can see there's 2 loops there, but it's what I was going to say is I'd leave a longer tail so that I could weave this into those beads, but actually I don't think you need to. Once it's attached properly, it should be fine. So I'll do 1 knot. It doesn't matter, it's moving around, we'll get it back in the right spot. So I'm going to put 3 knots just to be safe. So there's 2 and 3. And just make sure that that is secure. There. Yeah, that's not going anywhere. So you can start on either side. I think I started on this side. I mean, if you're worried, when you flip it, it's on the other side anyway. So whatever is comfortable for your hands. And let's get the oh, I've got the 15 OC beads in here as well. So that was not smart to mix these because they're really hard to see which are which. Oh, Emma, let me see if I have the container close by. I think I do, yeah. So just some 15 O's. Didn't think that one through. I thought, oh, be smart. I'll put it all in the same bag. I don't want to waste bags. At the beginning of this whole process, I was like putting every item in a separate bag. So now I'm going to thread my needle. Oh, and I should tell you, these here are, yeah, what beads are they? Let me see. I don't know where I put the container for those. If you're interested in finding out, these are inside silver lined 11O topaz beads. So they actually look like a shiny gold, and I like those. Yeah, if I find them, I'll let you know. I'm working on, as you can imagine, I'm working on 30 projects for the 30 day. Plus I'm working on a bunch of other projects, so it's like hard to keep it all straight. Let's just move that out of the way. Move these up here. So your first one you're gonna pick up 2 of these beads, and I'm just gonna bring them down. And again, it doesn't matter if it's down there. We'll move it up. So now, what you want to do is we are going to come through the loop, but you're going to hold on, or you're going to prevent your beads from popping into the loop. So let me just go down through here. Okay, like that. And I'm not going to pull it all the way. We are going to go back up the last bead that's on there, and that's going to secure it. So let me just do that. I'm just going to hold on to it so it doesn't pop down. So now it's going to sit like that. I don't know if that's going to be big enough for you to see. So the thread is coming out the side, but we want that to sit up and down. So let me just move it. We're going to go back up. I'm going to go around to the other side. You probably don't have to go around to the other side. And I'm going to go up the bottom of the first bead, and that's going to set them both sitting side by side on that piece of wire. This is probably the most complex part of this whole thing, is the first set of beads, like that. Then we're going to go up in through here, so that we're going to get that one sitting up. And I've probably gone through it too many times, but you want to be finishing by coming up through the last bead like this. So I'm just going to pull this like that so they both sit like that. The rest is simple. So pick up one bead this time. So this is what I do, is I just with my fingers hold on to those guys, but also hold on to the next bead that I'm putting on, and go through the loop, come through the other side, go down through the bottom of that bead that you just went through like that, and pull tight, and it snugs it up together. And that is it. We're going to do this all the way around. So you can actually go through the loop right now. And I even, as I was going, I would start to go through the bottom of that bead you added on the thread now that you've gone around the loop. And you can see what that looks like. Pull, 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 snug, and you're set for your next one. So, oh, that's a 50, no. So is that. There we go. So I'm going to go through the loop with my needle and hang on to that bead, or prevent that bead from popping through, then go down through the bottom of it like that. Again, pull. You can see that's flipped around. It's not a big deal. They are going to flip until we get it. Even when it's on here like this, it kind of gets twisted a bit. Not a big deal. So these are so much fun to do. So now I am going to move this up, because I'll tell you, once you start going on the loop, the beads start to kind of split a bit. So you want to make sure that the amount of thread you're putting on there is enough to compensate for that. I'm going to just take a look at how far I put the other one. So about 2 beads down from, yeah, so about that distance. So let's just keep going. Pick up another bead, go through your loop hanging on to that bead, and go through the bottom of that bead, and take a look what we have. That's the most satisfying part. And that's 50 now. Okay, go through. So if you're interested in this type of earring brick stitch situation, I would definitely recommend going and checking out some of the more experienced beaders doing this. Their videos are so much clearer and stuff. It's always tough for me when I start something new. I get so excited. I'm like, I want to show you guys what I'm doing. But I may not be a pro, so don't expect professional videos. It's not gonna happen. I have to say, I get people commenting. Usually somebody who's new to my channel doesn't understand that my channel is about us doing things together and me showing you what I'm up to, kind of thing. And they'll say, you really need to redo this video. It's not very good. And you totally lost me. And I'm like, okay. When in real life would it ever be appropriate to say to somebody, you need to redo something that you're getting for free? Right? So there. But I try and stay positive, but it's like, really? Are you serious? You're going to tell me? And I always check to see what their channel looks like, and it's always people that don't have a channel, like don't do videos. Like, Like, maybe they're having a bad day. That's what I tell my wife. She's like, no, block them. You don't need that in your life. You don't need negativity. I feel like the beading world on YouTube is so amazing, so positive, and people are always sharing their ideas and techniques and stuff. So, yeah, no place for that. Not on this channel, anyway. So things are going pretty good. It's been cold and, of course, winter. But we haven't, I think we had a bad snowstorm before Christmas, and it really wasn't that bad. But so we haven't had too much lately. Newfoundland, Cape Breton, and New Brunswick, if there's a storm heading our way, they usually get hit major. It doesn't, we seem to, we seem to get off the hook pretty often. But we have good neighbors. They shovel our driveways and our driveway. And if we lose the power, the one neighbor on the one side has a generator. He sends an extension cord across our decks so that it could run our fridge. It's awesome. So yeah, we've never had any problems. This one here, I want to make sure that this one sits upright. So I'm just going to take my needle, and it might be because that's where the knot is. There. So now it's nicely covering that knot. That's what I wanted. So you also have to remember, because I put 3 knots, it's kind of tucked into that bead. When we go back to add the bicones, just remember you have a knot in that. It's going to feel sticky. You can still get through it, but so you see how fast these are and how addictive they could be. So you see this one needs to be, I'm just looking, I don't know if that bead is just big and I can't see. There. So smooth that one over. I'm collecting beads. Oh, that was an epic fail, Emma. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to think of some stories. And you know what? I can't remember who I've told what story to. I'm pretty sure. So I was thinking about Valentine's Day, and some of the videos I've released for the 30-day challenge, we talked about, hearts and Valentine's. And there's a few people commented and told me about their um, make sure that's up, their engagement. And like some people were engaged on Valentine's Day, some people were married on Valentine's Day. So that was cool. So I was going to tell you the story of when Jen and I got engaged, and I can't remember if I told you, and I kind of feel like I have. I have to think about this. I don't want to repeat myself. Maybe, yeah, I think I did in a more recent video, so we'll skip that. We'll skip that story. I don't want to be that old lady that repeats the same story. When I was your age. Oh my gosh. I say to Jen sometimes, she she sounds like an old lady when she'll say something. And of course, I worked in psychiatry and I worked with Alzheimer's patients. So I worked with old people a lot, right? So not only from personal stuff. Did I put this one on wrong? I think I went through the wrong side of this one. Let me go back here. I did. Oh, I see, I crossed over my thread. That's why. Okay. So these are pretty easy to fix too. And I feel like the camera might be not in the right spot. Yeah, so I'll say to her, you sound like, oh. Yeah, she's really happy when I tell her that. She's just started on a drug that she has to inject. She says to me the other day, she has to do it every day. So she says to me the other day, she goes, I'm going to go take my dope. I'm like, oh my gosh, Jen, don't say that. You sound like an old lady calling it dope. She was not happy when I said. So of course now she's joking all the time. She's like, yep, going to take my dope. Especially being a nurse. And working in nursing homes, I would say to the patient, I'm here with your medication. They're like, oh, you're the pusher. You're the dope pusher. No, that would be the doctor. I'm like the pharmacist in this picture. I'm just here to dispense it. So you can see how fast this goes. Just be sure you get the right side of the bead. And pull it snug. So it's really, really lovely. And you can do multiple layers of the same bead too. So that's 15. 15. Let me grab some more here. I'm trying to think of some funny stories of working in the nursing homes. Uh, so I just finished watching the latest season of Fargo. I have to tell you, you may think I'm a weirdo, but Fargo, the movie, is probably my all-time favorite movie. And when I was working in a private psychiatric hospital, and in Ontario, and they had residents there that were there from like the 1950s, from rich families, because it's a private hospital. So from rich families, and they had like, um, you know, trustees that paid for their stay in the home. Now they're like senior citizens, so of course they're on the, I say Alzheimer's unit, but it's basically some of them did not have Alzheimer's. Some of them were just long-term uh, permanent residents of the facility. So there was one lady that was like that. She was so funny. I know she knew she was funny too. So she was tiny, like probably, I don't know, but under 5 feet for sure. You know, she'd maybe come up to my shoulder, and I'm 5'3". And the reason I say that is because somebody does something silly and they're that short, it just has an even funnier impact. And she had a personality that was so big and so kind and whatnot. So we used to joke with her all the time. So in the mornings when we worked night shift, we would give her a bath, and she was always carrying on and stuff. So during the night shift, once all our work was done and people were sleeping, there was nothing to do. So we would watch movies. So one of the nurses said, "Why don't you bring some movies in?" So I brought in Fargo. So there's three of us nurses. I bring in Fargo. We're watching the movie. And by now, Fargo's been out maybe 5 years or so. And I probably know it by heart. That's how much I love this movie. So we get finished with the movie. The one nurse says to me, she goes, "Oh my God, that was the funniest movie I ever saw. Can I borrow it to show my husband?" And the other nurse was like, "I didn't understand it. That was the weirdest movie I ever saw." It was hilarious how both of them took it differently. Now, if you know Fargo, the movie, you know there's a part at the end. I better disclaimer that there's a what do you call it? Where you tell the end of the movie. Eek, I forget. Um, Spoiler alert. There's a part where the one guy puts the other guy in a wood chipper to get rid of the evidence because he killed him. So this lady, this is the morning after we watched the movie. This lady, we're giving her bath, and of course we're already soaking wet, laughing and carrying on with her. Like that's how she was too. She enjoyed the banter. So she was and she's always like telling us how to do everything, which I mean it's her right because she's the one that's getting soaked in the tub kind of thing. So she's telling us about the temperature and the how much water to put in the tub and stuff like that. So I turned to her, I said, "Listen, if you don't behave, I'm going to put you in the wood chipper." The other nurse just about fell over laughing, and she's laughing too. She knew we were joking. Oh, we had so much fun. Oh, this one's funny too. So the other thing about the Fargo movie, the beginning starts with this really um, mournful music and the car driving down the road in the middle of a North Dakota winter. And so when I worked 12-hour night shifts, I'd come home and I'd have a hard time falling asleep. I would put it on and I would fall asleep like just during that song. That's all it would take for me to fall asleep. I should have, that was kind of just when the internet was getting, more available to people on different devices and stuff. So I had to put a movie in. I actually think it was a VHS. I don't even think it was a DVD. So it's not like I could put that music on my phone and fall asleep by it. But so that same unit, it was built like it was a street in the community. So there was park benches and there was a mailbox and all the hallways had red brick, like they were buildings. So then the doors were like doors going into people's houses, but they were really just rooms. So it was really interesting. It was meant to make them feel at home, that they weren't locked up. So we used to get what they called outriders, I think it was. It was people that were in different parts of the hospital and they didn't have a bed for them, but they could still be part of the program. So, like addictions, alcohol and drug addiction programs, they didn't have enough beds on their unit. So, they would come and they would get their medication from us and they would sleep on our unit, but they spent the rest of the day on the unit with um, the rest of the people in treatment. So there was a young guy, and there was a park bench right in front of the nurse's station. So this young guy, young Irish guy, came from Ireland for the treatment. We got a lot of athletes, actors, and like celebrities in this program. But anyway, he was getting his medication at the nurse's station, and these two old ladies were sitting on the park bench ogling his butt and like whistling and catwalk. He's turning around going, "What's going on?" I'm like, oh my god, the old lady's so funny. Okay, so that's done. Let's add the next layer. So since we're already here, we could do it this way. You could go back through just to secure this, but I don't think we need to. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the 50 and the crystals. So let me just move that. I don't think there's really a need for picking through. We'll get some fresh goodies here. And some seed beads. I don't think we need too many. So that's the 50 gold. I wrote first purchase, so this was the first time I ordered 50 I ordered 11 and 8 It was my in bulk. And I ordered these 50 and I look at how much I still have. So if you're ever ordering a bunch of 50 I would recommend just ordering a tube, a small individual tube. You can get a whole bunch more colors, and if it's a certain gold that you want, then yeah, I would definitely maybe get a 20-gram bag or even a 50-gram bag, but I wouldn't go any further than that because this was, I think, a 250-gram bag, and I have tons. I am sure I have another tube like this. So now we're coming out of this one here. This is your first one. So pick up a 50 crystal, a 3mm crystal, and another 50 like that. Okay, you're going to skip the next one. You're going to go through the one after that, and you're just going to go through the bead like that, like that. Now you can loop around, but if you don't want a whole bunch of line showing there, then you can just skip looping the metal piece. Go to the next one like this and go up through the bottom. And boom. That's it. Pick up 15 crystal and a 15. That. So you're coming out of this one here. You're going to skip that one. You're going to go down this one like that. Let me double check. I feel like there's a space there that the other one I didn't have. I think I went through the same. Yeah, I have them jammed up pretty good. Let me see. Down that one, down. They are closer together. Let me see if this is just, let's move this. Kind of want to get them to match. I feel like, yeah, see, I jammed them in too close. So I did come through the same one. You see how the bead is sitting forward, and it did that all the way. Now, I think the idea was I wanted to make sure it was like a solid part of gold in between the crystals. So let's go back here. I probably could have done that better on the other one, so I might have maybe gone back through here and put a 15, but let's go back through here. If this doesn't go through properly, we'll just take this off our thread. Take our needle off our thread and go there. So that was fine. So let's just take these guys off. So instead of going to the next bead, I know what I did. So you're coming out here. I must have gone around to the other side and gone up the same bead that I just came out of. So it won't come off because we're around the metal loop. So let's see if that is what I did. Yeah, I think that's what I did. So you can do it separate. You can do it any way you want. But let's just do it the same for consistency's sake. So we are coming out of that bead. We're going to skip one, go into the next one. And I'm going to go to the other side because I'm going to come up. Yeah, that's what I did. Come up this side. And just make sure you don't go through that 15-0 there. Okay. 15. A crystal of 15. Like that. Okay, so we're coming out of this bead. We're going to go, actually, you know what? I'm going to go through the back and come through the front. So skip that one, go down through this one, go through the back. So I'm crossing over that wire. That way you don't have to keep changing your hand position. So then go up through this one. Like that. That went through the 15. There we go. There. Okay, so you got your 15, 3mm crystal 15. You're coming out of this bead. You're going to skip that one, go through this one to the back of the wire, like that, and come out through the loop there, and then go through here, like that, to the front. This is, you could just do this. Like, it just looks so amazing. And you don't have to use a bicone. You can use another seed bead. You can use some tiny crystals. I got a bunch from Baby Craft. I should make, you know what? I should do another one of these with, let me show you these crazy beads that I got from Baby Craft. And they're here. It just takes me a little bit to get them. These guys that I got from BB Craft. These were like the different colors. I think they were strands of 10 for $3 or $4. So I got every color they had. And this color here I love, the topaz with the shiny. So I got a bunch of them. So you could totally do all kinds of crazy stuff with that. Now I better put that away. It doesn't fall off. There, I'll put that away later. So yeah, you can do so much. You could put like flower beads, some check glass flower beads. I'm actually glad I did this now. One of my videos didn't turn out, so I wanted to redo it. Okay, so we're coming out of this one, skip that one, go through this one, and make sure you go through the back. Let me grab my needle here. Through the back of the wire. And then come through the front. Like that. and then go through the front. My hand's shaky all of a sudden. There. Oh, these are so pretty. Okay, so we just keep going. And this gets easier as you go. Like it's taken a little longer now because I'm kind of show and tell and showing you other stuff. And yeah, I was gonna say, so one of the videos I did, I did it a day ahead just to be prepared, and it like the beginning of these videos, the ideas were very simple, but as I got going, I couldn't believe how amazing things started to look and started doing stuff like this. So I think I want to redo that one video. Going the wrong way. So through here, like that. And back up. I didn't know if I told you about the story of my recovery room story. So started, I have never had surgery. This is what I say to Jen when I find out I need gallbladder surgery. So I've never had surgery. I'm 50. I think it was 5 years ago. So I'm 53. Never had surgery. She's like, oh great. So at the same time, I have bipolar disorder, and sometimes I mean I depending on when you cycle, certain things happen, right? Oh, I went the wrong way. We'll go around this, coming to the front. So whether it was the fact that I was going manic already, or I decided I was going to stop taking my medication, I think in my mind, and I put those in parentheses, in my mind, I wasn't losing weight, and I was frustrated because I was working out hard and dieting and stuff. So I decided that it was my psychiatric drugs that were causing me to gain weight. So I decided to go on what they call a medication vacation. I decided to stop taking my drugs. And this is while I'm having issues with my gallbladder. So how I found out, it was Thanksgiving, and of course, you have a big meal at Thanksgiving. And at that point, for the last year, I was eating a packet of oatmeal for breakfast and a can of soup and toast for dinner. And that's all I was eating for a year because I was so sick. And of course, Thanksgiving, I decide I'm going to eat everything that, dessert, turkey, the whole bit. I was so, so sick. So I decided, I think it's time to call the doctor. So called the doctor. She ordered an ultrasound. I go for the ultrasound. She calls me like the next day after the ultrasound, and she said, "Yeah, I got the results from your ultrasound. You have gallstones. So I'm going to refer you to the surgeon for that. But in the meantime, if you have another episode of vomiting, just go to the emergency room. They'll do the surgery right then and there. Like they'll send you up for surgery." So I was like, "Oh, okay." So in the meantime, I've already been off my drugs for a while. So my behavior is starting to demonstrate some manic behavior. I was doing a swim challenge, which most of us do in master swimming, is called a 1,000,000 meter challenge. And you log all your meters that you do in the pool till you get to 1,000,000. Now, some people have, like Jen's almost at 3,000,000. I was, and there's different, like before you get to the million, they give you a prize for reaching a milestone within that, and I think I was at 500,000. I was I think I was like 30 um yeah, 30 kilometers from, not kilometer, 30, yeah, 30 kilometers from the getting my 500. And you get, the coach presents you with a bathing cap that has the meters on it and a pin and stuff like that, and everybody claps. So when you get that, like you swim that final meter, the coach knows, and the coach stops the rest of the swimmers in the pool, and you get to your, people are cheering you on as you do your last 25 meters and stuff, and they all clap at the end and stuff. So it's really fun and special. But I was still like 40 away. So the last 2 weeks before I had my gallbladder surgery, of course, I'm manic. I was going to the pool in the morning and then to practice at night. And I would do four, uh, it's not kilometers, it's 4,000 meters I would do in one practice, which is a lot. And then I would do the practice again at night. So I ended up getting my 50, uh, 40, 40K at the week before my surgery. So the Thursday before my surgery, I got my cap for my 500,000 meters. And then the next day, Friday, we went to massage that evening. And I was finished my massage, and I was waiting for Jen to come out from hers. And I said to her, I think you need to take me to the emergency room. She's like, oh, really? I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm in excruciating pain. So she drove me, and they did the surgery on the Sunday night. I come out of the recovery room. So even before the surgery, they take you down, and if you're ambulatory, they'll get you to get up on the bed that they're going to do surgery on, the gurney, whatever. And so, but they help you, right? And there's just like nurses. I think I think I did it too tight. Nurses on either side of you helping you, right? So there's one nurse, and they've got their masks on and everything, right? They're getting ready for surgery. It's all a sterile environment. So the one nurse, so this is what I saw. She looked familiar, but of course I can only see her eyes, right? What I saw her, I kind of looked at her and I said, "Hi, how you doing?" Like this. I thought she was one of my teammates from the swim team. And one of them is a nurse, but she doesn't work in surgery. So what I saw her do was go, shh, and then wink to me, right? Like, don't tell anybody I'm here, kind of thing. So I was like, okay. That was before the surgery. That would have been my first clue. And so we'll skip one, go through one. I want to make sure I get this right. I come out of surgery, And I don't remember any of what conversations I had with the nurses. But the next thing you know, they've got Jen. They never bring the family members into recovery. You have to wait till they go to the floor before you see your family member. They went and got Jen, and she comes in and she's like, "What's going on, Emma?" And I looked at her, and she's like in between the two nurses. And I looked at the nurses, and I'm trying to figure out which one is the gang leader that are trying to kill me. And Jen's like, it's just me like this. And I'm like, I know you're trying to kill me like this. And the nurse is like, oh my gosh. So yeah, that was not a good idea to stop taking my medication. I tried to tell Jen that I had a reaction to the anesthetic. And then I was like, this isn't working. I'm going to have to tell her the truth. So, yeah. Anytime I talk about going on a medication vacation now, she's like, you know where that medication vacation leads you. If you're from Nova Scotia, you know this reference. It's a direct trip to Mount Hope. So Mount Hope is where the psychiatric hospital is. Like, no. Yeah, not fun. So we're almost done. Go through here. So we kind of joke about it now, but she jokes about it, but was not fun for her. Oh, I had terrible hallucinations afterwards. When I got home that night, I was falling asleep and I dreamt that Herschel from The Walking Dead was a ghost in my room and he was coming at me and he was like floating like just a translucent apparition coming towards me. I'm like, Jen, there's a ghost in my room. I had like auditory hallucinations. We'd be sitting in the living room watching TV and I could hear somebody in the kitchen and I'd tell her and she's like, there's nobody there, Emma. Like, chill. So at that point, I was just like, well, I'm not going to argue with her. I know I heard something. But yeah, so there, and then like stuff like I would feel something wet when I was sleeping, and I'd, pull the blankets back and I was covered in blood. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. What's interesting is when I see the psychiatrist and I talk to her about episodes that I had with hallucinations, she's always and maybe it's just like I worked in psychiatry too, so it is very interesting. It's interesting to hear what people have seen and heard with their hallucinations. One time I heard God. You guys are probably like, "Oh." But the psychiatrist at the time said to me, um, "What did he sound like?" And I looked at him. I said, "You know, God's a woman, right?" He just shut up. It was a female voice. So we are going to do the final one, but you know what? Maybe we should leave it here. I was going to say we'll do one more, but we're missing that bead to attach it to, so I think this will be the end of this. So now let's tie off. Get rid of that 15-0. So let me, this way we don't have to even go through this one that has the knot in it. I am going to go up through the crystal again, through the 250 nose, like on either side of it, like that. And I will put a knot and then weave through like that. These guys straightened out. Okay, so I'm just going to grab a thread bridge here. See if I can get that. There. I think I might just do one knot because I think two would be tight in that spot. So I just tied that. I'm going to go down through here. And there. So just to be, yeah, that bead's kind of closed up. I think that's it. I was going to say I'll bring that thread through, but I think that's fine. Just make sure you don't cut your pieces. So look at, you could just have that as your earring. So I'm going to check on this one to see which loops I used. Okay, so I left this loop on and then added the big. So let's start by doing this one here. I usually just use my fingers to close these. If you have problems, just maybe use your flat nose pliers. See if I can open that a bit. Yeah, it needs to be open some more. This is how I open these. I bring my tools and then I just push a bit. There. Okay. So that's that side there. Let's get that one in there and then bring it back here. And like I said, I use my fingers. It's a little bit hard, but I use my fingers to avoid scratching. Okay. Then we need the nice gold. Jen's mumbling. She's doing that old lady thing. There's no mumbling in this house. Okay. So we are going to hook. We're going to hook everything together. If you see here, the crystal, the, hi honey.
You had me use your fingers.
You're a bad girl. Okay, so let's hook this nice big loop, and actually we can hook this on too. So just make sure you have the correct side. So this is the back. So let's put this one on. This one doesn't matter. It's the same on both sides. And that's probably why I ended up with the thing at the back, but no big. Okay, so then this one you got to make sure it's on the front. So if you look at it this way, that's the, sorry, that way. So we can put it this way and close this. Like, oh, they're so gorgeous. Oh, okay, I did this wrong. This should have been, I got excited and put that on right away. Okay, let's take that off. It's like, why does this look different? You guys are like, Emma. Okay, let me find the opening here. Okay. There. I knew that I was supposed to put my ear wire next. No, that's wrong too. You never know what you're gonna get in Emma's videos. Okay. Get that closed. Okay. This is what you should have first. Okay, this is the front, like that. Then we are going to attach the top one to the ear wire to this lovely gold jump ring. They look different, these jump rings. This one looks a little thinner. I thought they were the same, but okay. So this is going to go to the back, and let me just make sure that's nice and flat. Like that. Okay, and this is going to sit in front. So let's make sure. Okay, this will be the back then. Let's put this on here. So if you look at it this way, like that, and then the ear wire. So make sure the ear wire is correctly attached. There. These are ridiculous. Let me open this up a bit. Yeah, we have to do some more of these. These are unbelievable. So let me see how this one looks. Just feel like the, I think I may have to change this just because it's sitting low, but we'll see. You know what? That's fine. So that one sit perfectly. This one looks a bit longer. Yeah, look at how it's lower. But who knows? These wires could be a little off. But there's these incredible earrings. So I hope you enjoyed that. This is a little longer video, but it's kind of nice getting back to the long videos. And oh my gosh, it's worth it. These are so beautiful. Take care, everybody. We'll see you in the next video.